Good morning to you, and thank you for sharing your Friday with us. I am Louisa Lee, here to keep you informed and entertained. 欢迎收看 Louisa 报报，每天给你最新最有趣的新闻。A tornado is to blame for causing great damages, ripping through 2 counties in western North Carolina. Around 15 residents have been wounded, while 60 buildings have been ruined from the storm that struck the region. Rescue crews are now at the scene to clear debris and restore power.
Get on.
At least 15 people are injured after possible tornadoes tore through parts of North Carolina Wednesday night, bringing down trees and ripping roofs from buildings. Local media reports say dozens of homes were damaged and more than 1,000 people lost power in the storm.
Was it by itself?
Aerial footage shows debris scattered across the western part of the state. Weather experts plan to survey the region Thursday to confirm that tornadoes caused the damage.
To other news, and moms, hear this out. A new study indicates that breastfed babies are harder to please compared to formula-fed ones. Thus, they do not really hold back when it comes to tears. Now, our Jennifer Zhang is here to explain what's really causing their unstable behavior. 英国一份研究指出，喝母奶的 baby 比喝配方奶的 baby 婴儿还容易哭闹。为什么呢？我们一起来看看。
According to a latest research by a group of British researchers, breastfed babies may cry more. By asking more than 300 mothers to comment on the temperament of their own baby and to state whether they breastfeed or bottle feed their babies, researchers found that breastfed babies tend to have more challenging temperaments and cry more than formula babies. Scientists are trying to show moms that it's normal for babies to cry more if they are breastfed. Researchers said that most UK moms try to breastfeed. However, the rate drops to only a third within months, with the most common reason of stopping breastfeeding is that breast milk alone didn't satisfy my baby. Scientists are saying that crankiness in babies is not necessarily caused by hunger. On the contrary, babies crying may just be their natural way of communicating their needs to their mother. Lead investigator Dr. Ken On said bottle-fed babies may appear more content, but research suggests that these infants may be overnourished and gain weight too quickly. While breastfeeding is still the best for babies, researchers say that the finding may give parents more realistic expectations and help them to stick with breastfeeding for the first 6 months after birth, which is highly recommended by health experts.
And you have heard about the Steve Jobs action figure that has been generating plenty of buzz. Now, a 32-page comic book is hitting the shelves, which offers a broad look of the Apple co-founder's life.
Silicon Valley legend Steve Jobs, a superhero to many, is now the subject of a new comic book. The $4 32-page book offers readers a broad view of the life of the now deceased Jobs, from his adoption as a baby to his work at Apple. Thor Parker of Midtown Comics.
The artwork, it's pretty basic for a comic. You see a lot of iconic images that are related to Steve Jobs. You see comic renditions of his Forbes magazine cover, a lot of his keynote addresses. So you'll see a lot of stuff that you recognize, and then you'll see some other people that popped up in his life. The other guys that ran Pixar, they're in there briefly. So you'll recognize everybody that's in there pretty much.
Many regard Jobs as the greatest American CEO of his generation. He revolutionized electronic technology when his company, Apple, developed the iPod, iPhone, and other hot gadgets, including the recent iPad. The comic was written before his death from pancreatic cancer at age 56, and so does not address that. At Midtown Comics in New York City, fans were curious to check it out.
Seems like a collector's item, so I picked it up.
I think it's great. I think he's an interesting guy, interesting point of view in his life, and in my opinion, everything translates well to comics.
But not every fan was enthusiastic about the comic.
I think I would rather read an autobiography about him than a comic book.
And now to the world of fashion. It may be time to dig through the clothes of the past. Now let's take you to the Rio Fashion Week to find out what's in store this season. 今年第一场的 Fashion Week 在 Rio 开跑了，设计师抢先推出他们今年的设计。
Rio de Janeiro kicked off its Fashion Week on Tuesday with one of its brightest stars, Alexandra Hrčković. The Brazilian designer, who normally shows in New York, unveiled his younger diffusion line to press and buyers in the South American capital. Many of the fashions in Brazil reflect the boisterous colors of the country, its people, and samba music. But Hrčković showed his utilitarian designs with his trademark skulls stamped all over. He paid homage to hipsters of the 1980s with lots of cut-off denim, nerd glasses, and skinny jeans. He used brown suede in a variety of shapes, including a shift dress and jumpsuit. Fashion journalist Glenn Valdario says Brazil's fashion industry has come into its own.
I really love Alexander Hrčković's work. I used to go to his shows in New York. This was, it was his denim line, so it was a little more casual. It wasn't really his full vision. But no, I mean, Rio is great. So Brazil is really having its moment.
Designer Aqua Studio looked to fashion's golden age for inspiration and added a Brazilian twist. Shapes were inspired by the 1940s and 50s, with nipped-in waists and full skirts and shawls. But fabrics were different. For instance, a wire cage represented the shawl. Bold colors also brought the designs into the 21st century, with shimmer the order of the day. Dozens of designers will take to the catwalk at Rio Fashion Week, which ends on Saturday.
And the wedding bells will be chiming soon for actress Halle Berry, who is reportedly engaged to French actor Olivier Martinez. 眼见的外国媒体最近都发现，辣妈 Halle Berry 手上多了一只戒指，原来她也跟上其他 Hollywood 演员的脚步，跟男朋友 Olivier Martinez 订婚了。Third time's the charm for Halle Berry. Sources say that Olivier Martinez popped the question over the holidays, proposing to the Oscar-winning actor. Third time's the charm for Halle Berry. Sources say that Olivier Martinez popped the question over the holidays, proposing to the Oscar-winning actress with a diamond and emerald ring. The couple has been dating for over a year and met in 2010 while filming the movie Dark Tide, which will be released this year. It will be the third marriage for Berry, who has a 3-year-old daughter, Nala, with her ex-boyfriend, Gabriel Aubry. The 45-year-old star wed former baseball player David Justice for 4 years in 1993. She later tied the knot with R&B singer Eric Bennett in 2001, but that relationship also came to an end in 2003. On the other hand, her French beau, who is 46, was previously linked to Australian pop star Kylie Minogue for several years before parting their ways in 2007. And from a heart-wrenching film to a crime-fighting flick, let's check out the hot releases this week.
We're all having a good time, right? Sure, right? Yeah. Right? Sure. So shut up!
Directed and inspired by twins Logan and Noah Miller, the film Touching Home tells the true story of their father, Daniel Miller, played by Oscar-nominated star Ed Harris, who wrestled with sobriety and compulsive gambling while raising them. Despite the fact that their father was constantly drunk and looked down by others, they never gave up on him. Before his death at the age of 49 in jail, they gave their words that they would make a movie about his difficult life as a tribute to him. The making of the film was an inspiring journey for the two young men who endured extreme hardships to fulfill their promise.
I can't shake this thing. Can I get you a cup of coffee?
Charlie Winston is based on Noah and Logan's real-life father, who spent the last 15 years of his life homeless, struggled with alcoholism, and died in jail in January of 2006.
We wanted to just tell our dad's story. He wasn't somebody that anybody was going to make a movie about, that anybody was going to write about.
The most important thing to me was trying to do justice to this man who these two young fellows obviously cared a great deal about, who spent their lives really trying to help him out and never ever really gave up on him.
Taiwanese movie Black and White Episode 1, The Dawn of Assault, It's adapted from the popular 2009 TV series titled Black and White and starred by Mark Zhao, Huang Bo, and Angela Baby. The story revolves around a cop played by Mark Zhao and Huang Bo's character as a gangster who are tied up in a series of complex conspiracies while attempting to save the city from a nuclear attack.
中央堂口前来走事，出了事会没命的。千万别搞砸啊，要不然整个3年都不会放过你。
No 怕。什么箱子？
什么箱子？
箱子？
什么箱子啊？
由赵又廷所主演的《痞子英雄首部曲》全面开战，这个周末就要上映了。故事设定在海港城，赵又廷所饰演的吴英雄跟黄渤所饰演的黑道 B 咖，居然变成了搭档，要一起拯救海港城，免于被毁灭的危机。另外还有由真实故事改编的《逐梦奇迹》也同时上映，周末一起来欣赏吧。 And that's it for today's edition. I am Louisa Lee, and enjoy your Friday and your weekend ahead. We'll see you back here on Monday. Meanwhile, stay with CTS for the latest weather update and for more headlines.